Hello. Waiting for the clock to start. There we go. Hello, Gemini. This is your reading for basically mid-August to mid-September. I've been saying August 2021 because it's just easier. You're the 12th reading I've done, and they're all coming through. And I know it's actually the 13th as I'm recording this. And so we are almost halfway done with August already. But if you do remember July readings, they went through the Lionsgate, which just officially closed, I believe, this morning, early this morning. And so this is perfect timing. So what I'm going to do is pull an overall energy reading from this beautiful deck, the Magdalene Oracle, for you. Let me make sure my phone is not going to interrupt us. And then we'll make your story grid. We'll put the grid down all at once, and then we'll go through the story. Sorry, I was just chugging water. Always with the burping through my readings. Okay, so Gemini. Let's get an overall reading from the highest vibration of the cosmos, please. In Gemini's highest good. Let's get an overall energy card, please. Come on. Things are flipping around, Gemini. You get a lot going on in your mental mind. Monkey mind, mental energy body. Is it a little chaotic? Yeah, Gemini, you always have two minds, right? It's like two-faced. The villain, I'm not saying you're two-faced, but you know what I mean. So in the 12 Zodiac system, which I do sometimes, I'm kind of in transition to the 13, but in the 12 Zodiac system, I am Gemini rising. So, and I do resonate with that a lot, feeling like I've always kind of lived two lives. Being longing to be someone, but pretending to be someone else who never rocked the boat, somebody who fit in, right? So, all right, so I understand, Gemini. Let me get an overall energy card, please. Spirit in Gemini's highest good. Give us a good starting point. Ooh, I love it. You got Gaia. Okay, huge message right there to get outside as much as you can. I know across the country, we're having a lot of air quality issues because of the fires, right? I have my own opinions on that. I do believe it's all orchestrated. I don't believe the numbers when they put it out. If I look outside and it looks clear, I'm going to go outside. Because our bodies will tell us if we're breathing in toxic air. But anyway, at any rate, if you get out by trees, and especially in trees and along water at the same time, both of these items, right, naturally clear the air around them. So the trees, if you're walking through wood, like my favorite trail is through a forest right next to the Arkansas River. And so I've never had any issues, even when the air quality said it was bad. So what I'm trying to tell you is get out as much as you can in the next 4 to 5 weeks. So we're going to set that one aside, and we're going to so that's your overall energy. That's going to come through as kind of an overall theme. We're going to get the grid going with this beautiful deck, the Fairy Forest. I probably should link these. I'm not affiliates or anything with Amazon or anything, although I'd love to be, but I will try to start linking the decks if any of them, really pull you. So let's get the grid going for Gemini, please, in their highest good for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Let's do it. I love that Gaia card. It's really calling to me. Well, you got a master number right off the bat as a first card. It's cool too, because I was just talking about this card in the Libra reading, which is interesting because I didn't pull it for them, but I was talking about it. So I'm going to pull out the Magdalene deck again and get the middle row. So I did the left and the right side, 6 cards. It looks so pretty, you guys. A lot of shadow energy I see coming through, okay, Gemini? You're going to have a lot of healing coming up. It's a good thing. Remember, you're supported, you're cherished, you're held, you're guided, right? You have everything you need. You're going to be fine. We're going to tear these down and break these open and get the messages. So let's Get this middle row for Gemini, please, in their highest good. Let's get her done. Okay. Very nice. Gratitude. All right. So I do want to show you your center card because it's very interesting. And the center of the grid is going to be kind of an anchor. Everything's going to really emanate out from that. And look what you got, transformation. So Gaia, what's coming through really strongly is Gaia is ready and waiting and willing and able to help you through the next 4 to 5 weeks, probably longer, but she's really going to come through strong the next 4 to 5 weeks and help you with your transformation because you have got a lot of it coming through. So let's look at this first card. Let me take a drink first. I've already done, seriously, you guys, I was trying to do 3 today. I don't think it's going to happen. I love doing these. I would do these all day long, but my voice just cannot handle it. So you got master number 44. It is Otherworld Veil Illness Transition. I love that you got transition and transformation though. So what we're going to focus on here is what you're healing, okay? This is not a negative card. This is not a negative message. I don't want you to think there's anything bad or dark here, even though she does seem like a very, almost kind of vampire bride, right? Like just kind of dark goth bride. And yeah, so what I'm seeing, what's coming through is that you are healing a lot of, and it's not just physical, right? But you're healing a lot of dis-ease in your energy bodies. I feel like a lot of it is emotional, some mental. Yeah, I was getting a lot of chaos in the mental energy body. Remember when I was shuffling because things were trying to fly out everywhere. So I feel like there's a lot of mental instability. I'm not going to say illness because I don't subscribe to that. Everything in the mental energy body is about learned behaviors. Okay. And it's just about rewriting that subconscious. We used to say 30 years ago, we used to say the cassette tape. Of course, it wouldn't be that anymore, right? The recording still works, I guess. But because it's a master number, that is coming through as very powerful. A lot of guidance coming through for you. Besides Gaia, you are really, really supported and protected right now as you heal this. But again, it's coming through as a lot of kind of mental and emotional instability. Yes, some of you are healing physical stuff too, but I'm telling you, the physical stuff is the symptom. Excuse me, after chugging the water. The physical stuff is the symptom. Everything has an emotional core. And when we are in really, really deep avoidance of looking at our emotions, we get wrapped up in the hamster wheel up here, okay? So your body is going to tell you one way or the other that you've got to heal this. And so, yes, you'll be healing physical stuff, but you don't want to focus on the physical symptoms. You want to focus on the core emotional cause, okay? The trauma, whatever you've stored there. Like for me, I know in my personal, in my one-on-one sessions, in my healing sessions with clients, we go into where they store trauma. A lot of people have special places that they tend to store, like anything that scares them, they store in a hip. Or, I've gotten a lot of past lives are stored in the knees, especially if they were soldiers, if they fought in a war. Those past lives are stored in the knees. I don't know why. It's just what I've seen with my clients. I've seen a lot of mom stuff, right? Like mom issues stored in the hips. I've seen a lot of anxiety. I've had clients that had anxiety stored in an ear. It just doesn't matter. We choose a space for whatever reason and we put stuff there. And so in my sessions, I look at where you're storing things, and most of the time they say, oh, I've had so many problems with that spot, right? And they can never find anything wrong, or it is manifesting in a physical illness or dis-ease in the body because they've stored so much stuff there. Okay. So for me personally, I've had left hip. I stored everything that I didn't want to look at, that I couldn't look at. I stored it all in my left hip. And so I have had for the last decade almost an incredibly tight, sore hip all the time. I couldn't sit cross-legged. I mean, it was really bad. And so I've worked on healing all those layers, right? And so anyway, what you're doing right now, you're probably already feeling this, maybe a lot of aches and pains. What you want to do is focus on the emotional. Emotional is the core, okay? It's manifesting as physical because you're denying the emotional connected to the physical. It's coming up in your head and keeping you on this hamster wheel, this monkey mind chaos up here in the mind, right? So you're going around and around and around up here. You're afraid of what might happen. You're afraid of every little ache and pain in your body. I'm telling you, absolutely go to a doctor if you need to. Follow your own intuition. But my intuition tells me, for me, that it is all part of this healing process and that I have everything I need. You know, I had a friend say the body is its own doctor. And I was like, oh, yes, it is. And so, but again, I will never tell you not to go to the doctor. Please go to the doctor if your intuition is telling you to do that. Sometimes just a diagnosis is peace of mind, whatever you need. But I am telling you, it is all ascension symptoms, and it is telling you that you're storing something there. Whatever's hurting, you're storing something there. And it is up to you to look deep in there, in that spot, wherever it is, and find out what you're storing there. And that's going to clear. And of course, Gaia, here's what's coming through is Gaia, getting in touch with Gaia, grounding a lot, going out in Gaia, sitting on Gaia, laying on Gaia, walking barefoot in a lake or river or puddle. I don't care. Walking barefoot in the grass is going to help with that monkey mind. Okay. Because that's just like a symptom of resistance. Okay. When you're trying to avoid the emotional energy body, then you're trying to live up here. You're like, oh, well, I can logically figure all this out, right? But anyway, this is your first card, so it's just telling me this is where you're at right now, or very soon you will be going into this deep healing of just kind of this deepest layer. Like, look how black it is. That tells me that you're, you know, your guides, if you tune into your own guides, if you do this sort of thing, tune into your own guides. Ask them, you know, you've done so much healing that now you're in the deepest, darkest corners of your energy. That's why this is so black. Okay. And the deepest, darkest corners of your energy are holding the emotional cores of any physical disease. Okay. So if you've had chronic pain, if you've had chronic issues physically, it's because you have tucked these emotional traumas away in the deepest, darkest corners of your energetic basement, right? And so you're in the basement now and you're going through those boxes, right? You're finding all the old stuff. And I'm telling you, it's not as scary as you think. Dig deep, go deep in there. Okay. I want you to notice, I know she's very undead, but I want you to notice that she doesn't, it's definitely more of a, she's glowing, like her skin is glowing. It's not like gray, undead kind of skin. It's more like a light bulb. She's very bright white. So you are going to prevail. Okay. You can do this. You've got everything you need, and you are the light shining through the darkness. Okay. So it's a very important message. And again, just the fact that it's a master number is huge. And so this is going, while you're doing this, if you can focus on a foundational energy of gratitude, it is going to make this journey so much easier. I cannot stress this enough. The fact that I have gotten to a place, and when I first realized this, I was like crying tears of joy. And this was in the midst of a very long, drawn out dark night of the soul. It was a huge healing for me, but I was in a place where I was ready for it. And I had healed so much and worked so much on myself that I had already laid this foundation of gratitude. And so even in the darkest times, I was able to think as I'm sobbing, right, I'm able to think in my head, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am so grateful for this, because I knew that it was temporary. I knew that it was necessary. And I knew that on the other side of it, I was going to feel better than I'd ever felt before. Okay. Because these big, huge upgrades and breakthroughs are amazing. They're not always fun, right? A lot of them really suck. But just know, again, that you have everything you need. And if you can stay in gratitude, huge. And I know a lot of people do like gratitude exercises. I've never really been able to get into those. I am kind of in just a constant state of gratitude now without ever doing daily affirmations. So it's possible. But if you're an affirmation kind of person, Just every morning you you don't have to write it down. Some people write it down. Some people have a gratitude journal where every morning you get up, before you even get moving out of your bed, you write down 5 things you're grateful for. Okay. You can just think this too. You can, at some time throughout the day that, oh, okay, I'm going to think of 5 things I'm grateful for, and try to get into that energy of gratitude. But it really is about just doing a lot of healing, and it kind of comes as a byproduct too. Could I have done affirmations before? Sure. You can also find sleep affirmations. You can, if you Google on YouTube, they will have like the 8, 9, 10 hour, I think they're 8 hour recordings of sleep affirmations. If you can sleep, I've tried that and I could not fall asleep because of the talking, right? But if you want to try it, just search in YouTube, and there are some out there where it's affirmations, just repetitive affirmations while you sleep. And I have heard amazing, amazing stories from using those. I just couldn't sleep because of the voices. But yeah, so this is telling you, if you can stay here, this is going to be a lot easier. You're going to get through this a lot easier. So then you got number 14, which breaks down to 5, which is big change. Big surprise, right? You got big change coming. What do you think this is going to bring? A huge, huge shift. Okay, and it says initiate, curiosity, open, warm. I feel like, and see this too, just look at how much nature is behind her there. Very autumny too, very abundant, right? There's a lot of abundance here. The redheads always come through to me as just kind of more wise, ancient souls. Not that redheads are, I'm just telling you intuitively what's coming through. The fact that she's a redhead, she's also really just glowing, like even though she's very pale, she's just glowing, like the light is just expanding more and more within her. Okay, everything is in here, everything. But what else was I going to say about this? The curiosity, open, warm. So what I feel like is going on, and again, focus on this, right? Just get out in Gaia as much as you can. That'll help too. You're going to be able to calm that monkey mind a lot through this deep healing, okay? And through gratitude. A lot of times you can cut through all that crap with gratitude. There are simple visualizations you can do in the moment where you visualize a vacuum, and you just vacuum all the thoughts out of your mind that you don't need. Those do really help. But you kind of have to keep doing them, right? You have to be consistent. But what this is showing me too is that you're going to be, even though the words aren't specifically this, what I'm seeing is you're going to be perceiving, well, you're going to have kind of a new outlook on life, is what I'm seeing through this healing. Okay. You're going to be looking out at, even at Gaia. I mean, there's I'm just going to keep going back to this because it is the overall energy. Is you're going to be going outside, maybe where you've been a million times before, and you're going to see things you've never seen in this place before. Maybe you have a special place. Sorry, that's my ring light. Woo. Maybe you have a sanctuary, right, that you go to. I know I do. And every time I go, I see something new, and I think, was that there before? Was that beautiful tree there before? And so you're going to have a whole new perspective, because every time we heal, we kind of pull more of the veil off of our eyes. Okay. And so you're going to be able to see more color. Like, if we go from this like blackness, right, you're going to get through this. And this is your foundational energy of gratitude, because I know you can do it. You're going to be grateful for the opportunity because you know it's temporary, you know it's necessary, and you know on the other side, you're going to be a whole new person who is going to be able to look at nature and see all the colors and see all the little creatures and the magic in the little creatures. Okay. Excuse me, goodness. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So the next card, which is going to be kind of the mid part of this period of time, the next 4 to 5 weeks. So this would be coming into September, okay, the early September. It's number 39, which breaks down to 12, which actually breaks down to 3, right? So I always have to check my math because I did it wrong in one of the readings. I was like, oh, I just added that wrong. It is King of the Darkwood Elves. You got a king. You got a sovereign energy, a divine masculine. It's your only masculine energy. Everything else is very feminine. And that's fine. That's great. There's a lot of, for most of the signs, it was mostly feminine energy because we're really embarking on a deep, deep healing right now. But the cool thing is that the masculine has been coming through, and it's the same for you. I know it is. The masculine energy too is kind of peeking its head to let us know that yes, we're doing a lot of deep, deep healing, but it's no longer debilitating. It's no longer knocking us on our ass for weeks on end, right? You're going to be able to function on a much higher level while you're doing this deep healing. And so he's the king of the Darkwood Elves, authority, credibility, status. I feel like you're going to really come into more of your, if you're already kind of doing a spiritual practice, if you're already doing a, if you do Reiki, if you do past life healing, if you do inner child healing, whatever you do, if it's a spiritual practice, I feel like you're going to come to a whole new level of this and of really trusting your own abilities and gifts. Okay. Credibility, status, authority, those are all great, but it's really going to be about you trusting yourself. And that is what emanates out from us and pulls people to us, because they look at us and they, oh, well, she's really sure of what she does, so she must be really good at it. Like, that's what they feel, the confidence, right? The confidence of what we do. Yeah, we know we can do it. And I will tell you, when I first started, I had to, it's a process, right? You gain more confidence the longer you do it. The more you do sessions with people, the more you do whatever you came here to do, you're going to get more confidence doing it. And that's going to allow you to deepen it, expand it, get better at it, right? Find a whole new level of everything that you do. But let's look at this handsome guy. He's kind of stoic, but he's not a bad guy, right? He's just he's kind of quiet. And so he's coming through as just kind of and again, I think is a different message though, the fact that there's so much darkness behind him. Yeah, okay, I know. My throat goes crazy every time I'm about to speak a deep truth. Because he's got a beautiful starry night behind him. He's coming through as a, not the same as this blackness, this kind of deep shadow work you're doing. He's coming through as more of he's kind of going to be behind the scenes, this divine masculine energy, but he's going to be there. So you may not even realize that there's a masculine energy coming through, but you're going to notice that you are more, let me find the right word. You're going to notice that you're going to be speaking up for yourself a lot more. But because there's so much feminine energy and feminine healing going on, it's going to be coming from your heart. You're going to be standing up for yourself. You're going to be speaking your truth. You're going to be unapologetically being you, but from your heart space. Okay. And that's something we've all had to learn. Like when we first start our awakening journey and we start learning things about the way of the world, and we start learning about energy and ascension and what's going on, we kind of word vomit, right? We kind of force it on everybody because A, we're so excited that we can't wait to share it. But B, we really need to be right. We want them to listen to us. We have this desperate need for them to really hear what we're saying, and they're just not ready for it, right? And so that is not necessarily from the heart space. That's more from the ego, from the need to be right, from the need to be heard, right? It's more coming from our traumas that we are then shown to heal or asked to heal. And so this dude is coming through. Yes, he's very quiet and stoic because he's just kind of hanging back. He's not going to be in your face about it, but he's going to be there, very present, very strong, okay, very stable. He's going to be there for you, and he's going to help you speak your truth, stand up for yourself, share your truth, be unapologetically you, but from your heart space. So it's a beautiful, when you can act through your heart. I actually said something the other day just randomly, and I was like, ooh, that's really good. I love it when these amazing one-liners kind of channel through us, but it was like, confident action from your heart space is the perfect marriage of divine masculine and divine feminine within. Okay. When you can act confidently and act on something, but it's from your heart, that is divine union within. Okay. So he's there for you. Don't ever doubt that. And then you've got this transformation card, right? Which is the center, the anchor. Everything is emanating from this. You are transforming. There is no doubt about it. This is huge confirmation. That is your anchor card. Okay. Next we have 29. So you had 39 and now 29. This breaks down to 11. This is actually the card that I added wrong. I was like, this breaks down to 13. Wait a minute. No, it doesn't. 2 and 9 are 11, which we do not break down, right? That's a master number. So you got 44 and 11 coming through. And this is before the gathering, celebration, anticipation event. Yay! So you know you're transforming. You are getting more and more confident in your own abilities. And and you're able to speak and act from your heart space, which is beautiful. And now you're going to really start to tune into the bigger energy, if you're not already, but the bigger energy of what's coming without the fear. Okay, it's not going to be laced with fear anymore because you will have healed all of that. Okay, so you're going to be more excited than anything else, and you're going to start inadvertently in your energy. You're going to be preparing for this big celebration coming. So for those of us in the know, for those of us who have shed enough of the fear and know that we're not meant to continue this cycle of war, peace, war, peace, war, peace, war, peace. And one of the things that is part of this cycle that perpetuates this cycle is things like protests, resistance, right? I mean, these were all beautiful things and served us very well, but they're part of that old hamster wheel and they are perpetuating the old system. Okay. And I'm not saying don't stand up for yourself. I'm saying the old ways don't work anymore. It's time for something new. And that begins with healing within. The people who are out there right now, not everybody, not across the board, I don't mean to slam activists. I think activists are beautiful and brave and strong. And I'm, in a lot of ways, I'm envious of their strength and their voice, but they're also acting out of fear. Okay, they're not acting from their heart space. When you're out there, and you get caught up in that energy, right? Like I've seen really good people go out with good intentions and end up being the ones turning over cars and setting fire to local businesses. They don't even know the families who own these businesses, and they're just destroying everything for no reason. Okay, I have seen good people get caught up in that mob mentality because they're going out of fear. Okay, they're attending these things out of fear. So it's time for us to focus on our own healing right now. We're not going to fall under the AI controlled prison matrix overnight, I promise. We have to heal ourselves. As we heal ourselves and become balanced within and really tune into our heart space and get in touch again with our unconditional love and compassion, which we've totally lost track of, especially the masculine has totally lost track of that. That's why we're here to teach them, to remind them how to do that. Until we can do that, nothing is going to change on the outside. Okay, we're going to still be caught in this cycle. And again, I'm not saying don't stand up for what you believe in. I'm saying take a good hard look at why you're standing up for it. Because if you're standing up for anything that is part of the old system, then you are perpetuating that old system. And we don't want that anymore. Okay, Gemini? You are better than that. Okay, so I'm going to keep going because I feel like that is a soapbox and I can get off of it now. The next card, which we're coming into now into September, the first and second week, mostly the second week of September now. This is coming into kind of the beginning of the equinox energies, right? I might have said solstice in the last reading. Oops. Oh well. This is number 4, shapeshifter, transformation. Seriously, you got 2 cards that say transformation. Transformation, primal wisdom, instinct. Remember, 4 is a beautiful owl lady. Number 4 speaks of foundations, creating new foundations after shedding old ones. Okay, so you're finding your new feet here and gaining more abilities, gaining more power, expanding, really deepening your abilities and getting more and more confidence and trust in them, right? And allowing this transformation a lot more. So you're doing great, Gemini, because this is you just owning this path, right? And being like, okay, well, I can't avoid this anymore. I'm going to really go in and fucking take care of business this time. Okay. You can't avoid it anymore. Okay. Stop going out and doing things out of fear. Okay. Because it's not working anymore. It's not working for any of us anymore. That's why, I'm so sick and tired of the people telling me I'm not doing anything or I'm part of the problem because I'm not posting hate on Facebook. And that, yes, it still triggers me a little bit, but honestly, I really am not even amped up about it, even when I say it now. So I feel like I've healed a lot of that. But it's, I just ignore them now. I just completely ignore them. Because if you're pointing a finger at somebody saying they're part of the problem, then that's a mirror for you, right? It's a big, big mirror, especially now. So this next card you have is one of my favorite cards because it is the main, it's the cover card of the Magdalene deck. You got Magdalene. So Mary Magdalene, I don't know why I say Magdalene when it's just her. Oh, that's interesting. Oh my goodness. How have I never noticed that before? There's another face right there. I'm going to figure out what the hell that's about. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So very, very beautiful divine feminine energy coming through. Also, she's telling you, hey, I'm here as a guide for you. Tune into me whenever you want. She is an ascended master in her own right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mary Magdalene, also her mother-in-law, the great Mary. Tune into both of them. The Marys are an amazing duo for healing your divine feminine. So there's a lot of healing coming in. You've got this masculine going, you're transforming, you're really tuning into your gifts. You're kind of allowing that transformation now. So this kind of pure divine feminine is really going to be amplified in your energy. Okay. And it's really coming through. And I want to go to the last one too, because 27, it's 9, Salu, vitality, health, energy, because it's also a very feminine card. And so I feel like you're coming into a period of really cultivating your feminine energy, women and men. Okay. Men, you're going to be getting in touch with your emotional energy body. Okay. You're going to be getting in touch with your heart space and learning how to shift your consciousness up from the ego and the solar up into the heart. And that's not girly and that's not weak. There is nothing more powerful than unconditional love. Absolutely nothing. Okay. So you're cultivating a lot of divine feminine toward the end here, but I love this because 27 is 9. That means you're coming to the end of a cycle. That means that you've done it. In the next 4 to 5 weeks, you will have completed this big healing cycle. Okay. And I like, if you notice, kind of, it almost looks like she's kind of hiding it, but the sun is just starting to peek out from behind her. And so that tells, that's another good indication that it's coming to the end of a cycle, because very soon that sun is just going to be glaring. Okay. And there's just so much too about you bringing more light, expanding your light. And there's dragonflies. Dragonflies is very fairy energy. I mean, this whole deck is fairy, I know, but they don't all have dragonflies in them. And so you've got, and I love this too, she's a very childlike, kind of haphazard, kind of devil may care, kind of, throw caution to the wind. She's a very, not intuitive, when impulsive, but in a good way, right? She's a very impulsive kind of, what's the word I am looking for? Spontaneous, childlike energy. So you're going to be cultivating this beautiful, Mary Magdalene comes through with very divine feminine. It's not very, for me anyway, it's not coming through as maternal, but it's coming through as just very divine feminine, like the true definition of a woman. Okay. This is our example, is this ascended master. And so then you're coming into this period where you're going to be getting in touch with your feminine inner child, and you're going to be able to kind of let go of structure in your life in a lot of ways. Not all of it, but you're going to shift and transform so much in the next 4 to 5 weeks that you're going to long for fun. And you're going to go out and you're going to find it. You're going to seek it out, and you're going to care less about how you look. And of course, I know, when they're naturally beautiful like this and their hair's, she would say, oh, my hair's a mess. It looks amazing, right? Like, it's incredibly sexy. But notice too, because I love this. So notice her bright red lips. Like, that is the most potent, like, even if I go all the way back, you can still see her lips. The rest of the card is very muted, very pastel-y, very pale, or not pale, but very pastel, soft colors. And then she's got these bright red lips. So that is you speaking your truth on a whole new level. Really being in touch with this inner child, having fun, showing people what it's like to get more and more in touch with yourself. Like, you know, we're not necessarily going to be living our lives like children every day, right? Like we'll have things that we want to do that, you know, we'll really enjoy being adults, maybe for the first time ever. But we also want to have this, we want to always be in tune with this inner child energy so that we can see the world and the way it's transforming with childlike wonder. We can see the beauty of the world through the eyes of a child who maybe it's the first time they're seeing a mountain, or it's the first time they're seeing a redwood, you know, like in California, or it's the first time they're seeing an eagle flying over, you know, how they're just so amazed, and it's so beautiful and wonderful to watch their reaction. That's the energy that you're coming into. That's the energy that we all want to tune into. Okay, because it's beautiful. I do love how these two are very similar. So there's a lot of kind of, oh, that's what I was going to say too, is you're not going to care as much how you look. You're not going to care about, you know, always having makeup on. I know she's got the bright red lips, but that's a different message, right? You're going to really shift in how you want other people to see you in the way that you're not going to give a shit. You're going to go out and do the things and go about your day exactly the way you want to on your terms. And if that means messy hair, no makeup, still wearing the PJs you slept in, right? It just doesn't matter anymore. Okay, that stuff is so trivial. You're going to realize that it doesn't matter. You know, no bra. I highly recommend it, ladies. I highly recommend it. Bras are bad for you. Okay. We need to normalize bralessness again. We need to start normalizing. My goal, I'm hoping to see this in my lifetime, is because it's never made sense to me, is women being able to walk around bare-breasted just like men can. Because I think I would say or men having to cover up, but that seems like a backwards move to me. We're just going to keep moving forward and stop being ashamed of our breasts, right, ladies? Because it's not us that have a problem with it. It's the men that cannot control themselves around them. That's the problem. That's the whole problem. So anyway, I got off on a little tangent there. But this energy is just beautiful and carefree. And this is the end. This is the end of it's. This is coming into the middle of September-ish. Okay. Right before the equinox energies. Okay, so this will shift, but you're going to be able to carry this through with you. I feel like this is what your guides are saying, is this is kind of the energy you're going to be in when the equinox energy starts. And so you'll be able to hold on to this and kind of ride the waves and enjoy the equinox, because the equinox is going to be big. It's going to be a big shift, but you're going to be able to play through it. That's a nice message, I think, right? Okay, so I'm going to get a final closing energy card from the Magdalene deck. And then I've got a beautiful deck from a friend of mine that I'm going to pull a message from the universe for you, okay? So I hope this is making sense so far. Don't forget to watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. You know, if you have someone you know who you think might benefit from these messages, please share. You know, I just am trying to get these messages out so that people feel prepared for what's coming. And you know, I love giving positive messages too, like, oh, you're killing it, Gemini. You really are. You're really doing great. Your guides are just kind of, it's like what I see, what they show me all the time is like, for all the signs, but it's coming through for you now. Not all the signs got this, but I'm seeing like you're running the Boston Marathon, right? And your guides are all the spectators, and they are just cheering you on all the way to the end. And you know how they're always, you know, that person who's like last to cross the finish line, but their people don't leave. Their people just stay till the very end and cheer them on to the end. Those are your guides, okay? They are never going to abandon you. Even if you're the last one across the finish line, which you won't be, even if you're the last one across, they're going to stay and cheer you on. Okay. I promise. So you're doing great. I mean, you've got this at the center. Remember, you've got Gaia has got your back. I mean, she's only the freaking planet we live on, right? No big deal. She's our mother and helping you transform. You've got a huge transformation coming up. So let's get a final message from your guides for Gemini in their highest good, please. Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to show you the word because I don't think the word pertains, but look at this, what we got. It's a very abstract kind of like an explosion of color. So what's coming through is, I think they wanted you to see, okay, so, you're here now, or you will be soon. It's not a scary place, I promise, right? It's just you really digging deep. And this is where you're going, right? Like it's like a new vision. I keep hearing new sight. And again, we talked about how you're going to be seeing the world in a different way with childlike wonder. You're also just going to be seeing, I think it's just confirmation of that, like where you're going is you're just going to be seeing so much more color, and maybe even literally like new colors. You're like, wow, I've never seen so many shades of orange before. Cause they say that we only see a fraction of the full spectrum. And so we're going to gain access to more of that color spectrum as we evolve. And so that makes sense, right? But it's just going to be a whole new perspective of reality. Like you're going to start seeing it as this kind of beautiful splash of color. And, it may look chaotic, but it's actually very intentional, right? And it's more fun this way. Like, do we want it to be, perfect squares and blocks like a chessboard? No, boring. Boring. And this is almost like, I keep thinking Big Bang too. It's like, yeah, it's like you're going to ride the waves and experience this next reality. Maybe there are a few of you Gemini who are kind of worried about that. Like, am I going to make it? Can I survive this process? I'm telling you that you are through the worst of it. And I can say that confidently because I know we all are. Okay. We are through the worst of it. For anybody who's listening to this reading, okay, there are definitely souls on the planet, the beautiful human souls that we came here to help, who are doing this transition for the first time. They are just coming into the worst of it. And that's why we did it first, because we need to be healed and prepared and ready to, not fully healed, right? We're never done. As long as we have a physical body, we're going to have something to heal, but we're done with the biggest parts of it. And so, like I said, you're in the basement. You're in the deepest, darkest corners because you've done everything else, Gemini. You're doing amazing. But there we need to be able to be ready to turn around and help these human souls that we came here to help. That's really ultimately the mission. And of course, we got caught in the reincarnation cycle, right? And we knew we were going to. I think we just really couldn't fathom what we were getting ourselves into until we got deep in this. And the forgetting doesn't help, right? Now that we're remembering, that's the whole point, right? Is the remembering. Now we're going to take care of business, right? Now we're going to get shit done. But I love this card as the end, because if you look at, okay, so this was the overall energy. This is the closing message. It's like Gaia, like, I love this. This is beautiful, but it's very, it's kind of two colors, green and blue. And, even Gaia is going to start to look different and more color. Everything is just going to brighten up and look better. And you're going to appreciate it more. And you're going to be more in awe of it. And not just in the physical world, but in your life. Everything is, it's like a new Big Bang. I keep seeing a Big Bang, but it's like a Big Bang of color. It's like the next level Big Bang. Because, Big Bang, I don't know. Did it really happen that way? Who knows? But that's what keeps coming to me, is this kind of explosion of the new reality that we're creating. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Yes, it looks very abstract, but to me, that does not look chaotic at all. It more looks like a party. It's a celebration that where's that card? That you're getting ready for, that you're preparing for. Remember this? Before the gathering. Okay. The party is already set up. All the snacks are there. The band is setting up right now. Everything's getting prepared for the party. We're just waiting for the people to get there. Okay. And this is where you're going. So that's good. Now I'm going to pull this. So this deck is made by a friend of mine, the Illuminate deck. It's beautiful. It's got very simple messages on it. I love using it for my readings at the end. It's like recycled cardboard, so it feels amazing. It's soft and natural. And we're going to pull a message from the cosmos, okay? A message from the universe for Gemini for the next 4 to 5 weeks in their highest good, please. It's funny because I've been using this deck for a few weeks and I keep pulling the same, like, ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, so if this doesn't go with, and again, I'm going to cover it because I don't even want you to see this word because it's not pertaining to you. Look at that. I see beauty in the world. Thank you, universe, for confirming this card. This is what this card was trying to tell us. You know, when there's like nothing, but I admit I was thrown a little bit. I was like, shit, how do I get a message from this? And I kind of kept the message from coming in because I shut down because I was like, gives me nothing. But now I get it. And I did eventually get there, right? But I see beauty in the world. And you are going to start seeing more and more because you're going to be seeing it with childlike wonder. Because we're about to, as it falls on the floor, we are about to cross the threshold and embark on this new adventure. Okay, we're all doing it together. You know, there are going to be those who cross first, right? Because they're the preparers, right? But we're not alone. We're not alone. This is an evolution of humanity, you guys. This is not just you being thrown into one dark night of the soul after another. There's a much bigger picture going on here that I really want you to see through the next 4 to 5 weeks, okay? So don't be afraid of this, please. Remember, if you stay in gratitude and the fact that it's, what was the number 7, right? Did you have a 7? You did not have a 7, but that's okay. That was the last reading. But, you know, you have a lot of very powerful guides. You've got this beautiful king. Like, you are very sovereign in your energy. And that's only going to increase, okay? And that's going to help you with this. And she's, you know, she also comes through very confident. Like, if you look at her face, she's like, she's got this. Is she worried about going into the dark corners of the basement? Not at all. Because she knows what's in there is what she put in there, okay? And nothing in there can overpower you or take over, or destroy you. Nothing in there can. It's all stuff you hid away from yourself until you were ready to look at it. And you're ready now. You are. I am so confident in that I can't even tell you. Because where you're headed is in a place of childlike wonder and just carefree energy and just enjoying life and seeing beauty in the world. Okay. And, you know, Gaia is also asking you to seek it out, right? Like, if you're having trouble on any given day, go outside, find trees, find water, find the sunshine, find grass, sit under a tree, whatever you need to do, okay, to find the beauty. Because I will tell you that the energy for the humans going through this for the first time is only going to get more chaotic for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Okay, then coming into the equinox, I feel like that's going to be our shift out of that chaos. And we're going to, we'll find out what's on the other side of that, right? I can't see that yet. They're not letting me see that yet. And I don't know that I want to see that yet. Yeah, I do feel like we are breaking through. Okay. So that is all I have for you, Gemini. I hope this helped. Again, watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Share, like, subscribe. I love you, and I will see you next month. I'm trying to reach my mouse here. Thank you, everybody.